till the day I die.
Hi guys, I'm Richard from Burning Spears. Welcome to my channel. I have indeed got something very, very special to cook today. Something I've been thinking about doing for a long time. And I had to wait for my spices to come from South Africa, and they're here. Currently I've got a mutton curry on the go, so that's going to take a couple of hours. So I thought, why not push the boundaries, push the boat out, and see what I can come up with. So basically I'm going to be doing a masala, slightly tandoori-esque chicken. So it's a marinated chicken thighs that I'm going to do in the Kamado Joe, and they're going to be real tasty just on their own. But I serve this on a flatbread with some sambals and a butter chicken sauce. So the sauce component will be made separately and added on with the chicken. And then I will do a tomato chutney, which in South African Indian terms is basically like a chili curry chutney or relish. So it's not the sweet chutney that we all know and love. It's slightly different. A lot of components, quite intricate. Let me go through that. There's just so much that's going to go on here that I will separate it stage by stage by stage, so I don't get lost. First time cooking this. I've cooked the separate components on a more than a few occasions, so I think that this will be sort of a complete flatbread chicken meal that's just going to offer so much bang for the buck. So let's have a look at the ingredients. Okay, so we start with the protein. I've got chicken thighs here. Now this is 2 kilograms of chicken thighs that were bone in and skin on. I've removed those. So and I've washed thoroughly, as is traditional. So the meat's washed with chicken thighs. Chicken thighs, of course, as we all know, cook juicier and are more forgiving than chicken breast. If you were cooking a chicken curry in the British Indian restaurant style, you'd be using diced breast in the sauce, but I think that this is a way better method of doing it. So I'm going to marinate this with some Greek yogurt, and I've got a little bit of leftover secret green paste that is the foundation of a lot of South African Indian curries, and this was equal parts garlic, green chilli, coriander, fresh mint, and curry leaf. So very versatile, and you can use it throughout. It adds great flavor and great essence to any sauce. So that'll be going on. I've got some freshly ground cardamom, green cardamom. I've got some turmeric. Then some of these spices which will feature across the board here. We've got extra special chili powder, extra special hot curry powder, those are the reds. Then the browns, I've got a dhania and jeera, which is coriander and cumin, and an extra special garam masala. So you'll see me mix these up now and marinate the chicken, which will get skewered, like I say, and done on the Kamado Joe. Then we've got the butter chicken, the sauce, the sort of curry sauce. So I've got onions, I've got grated tomato, cashew nuts, ghee, and full cream, and that'll have some of the spices in as well to bring it together. Then on right over here we're going to do the chutney. So again, some of those will come across into here. I've got green chili, garlic, onion, grated tomatoes, and some cumin. Alright, so that's basically the ingredients, a snapshot of the ingredients. I'm going to pull apart and do section by section so that you can see it. Alright, so nice big bowl, get that chicken in. Use about a tablespoon of the magic green paste, we'll call it. Okay, right, so now I'm going to start with the dry spicing. So I've got probably about half a teaspoon of turmeric. almost a teaspoon of black pepper, garam masala, one very heaped and then one sort of heaped teaspoon. Then the coriander and cumin, the dhania and jeera, one heaped teaspoon. Hot curry powder. Let's get some more in there, I think. 2 heaped teaspoons. And then some chili powder, because it ain't hot enough until you add a chili powder. For that colour. About 2 heaped teaspoons of that as well. Maybe a little bit more. Okay, Greek yogurt. Greek yogurt because it's thicker. So this I'm going to leave to marinate for a bit and then pop it on the skewers to cook it on the KJ. You could add a little bit more turmeric if you wanted more colour, of a yellow colour, but I'm focusing on flavour here. Okay, chutney time. Right, I've got a high heat. I'm going to add some oil, sunflower oil, not olive oil, quite a bit more than you would think, and some ghee. Just adds that nice unctuousness. Right, now that the oil's hot, we're going to start tempering it. I'm going to add some cumin or jeera. And as you can see, it's bubbling away, so the oil's nice and hot. About a teaspoon. Put a bay leaf in. Right, I'm going to put the onions in now. You want to get these nice and translucent, not browned. In go the big bits of garlic, 4 cloves, and about in half, and about 6, 8. If you're feeling generous, 10 green chilies. I've got enough hot components on this dish that I don't need the chutney to hurt. And then we're going to put some of the green paste in and just let that nicely cook down as well. You know, with its components it does need to cook down, especially the curry leaf and ginger. You treat it similar to tomato paste. So I only put about a teaspoon in there. You can go a bit more if you want. So then you wait for the aroma to know that the greens are cooked off. They're not so raw. Of course, naturally you don't want your garlic to brown and burn. Always keep an eye out for it, and that's why it was left in such big pieces. So it flavors the oil and the dish without going brown and burning. So to start with the grated tomatoes now adding, I'm going to do 2 tablespoons initially. So the reason put just 2 in there is all the dry powder spices are going to go into temper the oil. So that tomato just assists in the process, gives those spices something to grip onto. So about a heaped teaspoon of turmeric, or maybe a bit less. Turmeric actually activates pepper and vice versa. They work in tandem. And now I'm going to start with the other spices. I'll put the garam masala in first. Beautiful fragrant stuff. 1 teaspoon. And then the dhania and jeera powder, coriander and cumin powder, also 1 teaspoon, similar amounts on those as always. And then some heat and some color, some hot curry powder, 1 again. Hope I got my combinations right. Some chili powder, another heaped teaspoon. Okay, so I've got some green cardamom powder going in there. I roasted that myself from the whole pods and blitzed it in my coffee grinder, my spice grinder. Right, now that the oil is tempered, spices are tempered, just going to slow the process down a bit to allow the flavors to develop without the spices going too dark. It's always a common trick, because you want to temper, but at a high heat to pull all those oils out, but you don't want to burn the spice. So that oil's come to the top now. You know it's ready to receive all the tomatoes. So I'm going to bring this to the boil on a high heat and then probably tone it down a little bit. Don't forget tomatoes love salt. Add some salt now. Always generous on the salt with all that tomato. Okay, it's already quite silky, but as soon as it bubbles up, I'm going to turn it down a little bit. Let that develop over some time instead of running to the finish line. Slow and steady wins the race. And that oil should come up and be nice and red. So if you wanted to have an Indian style shakshuka, you could crack some eggs on this when it's ready. A bunch of things you can do with this. Also very versatile as a side, or I've had amazing lamb chops chutney where the lamb chops are cooked and then thrown on there in there. Just beautiful, very versatile. The old tomato chutney. So that's just below medium heat. Now I can leave that, focus on all the other elements. Alright, so as you can see, I've tested this for seasoning. Tomato chutney's done, man. That oil's out. It looked ready and then I tasted it. It was still a little bit sour. I'm going to keep it warm one side and then reheat it to serve, and I'm going to sprinkle some coriander on that just to liven it up and give it that extra little bit of lift, and it is just delicious. Okay, so this is my version of a butter chicken sauce. I'm omitting the fenugreek because I'm trying to showcase the Durban spices I got, and of course a good garam masala is really essential. So I'm going to put some oil in here. It's quite a respectable amount of oil. I've used a lot more during the course of the day with the curry, the mutton curry I've done. In goes some ghee. All the tomatoes go in. So you didn't push the onions too much because this is all going to get blitzed anyway. Okay, so I've cooked all of the water out the tomatoes, and they're going to be used to mingle with the spice, set the sauce. Putting in some cinnamon powder, which I forgot to mention earlier. Very strong flavor, so almost a level teaspoon, slightly more. Dhania and jeera, coriander and cumin powder, and then of course garam masala. Sorry about the camera work there. 2 teaspoons, and then chili powder, 1 very heaped teaspoon. So you don't want to push this too far. You have a little bit of water on hand should you need to add it, because you want to brown the spices, but I'm not going to add any water. I'm going to put some butter in because it is butter chicken. At the end I'll see how the consistency of the sauce is. I might add a little bit more of butter at the end to finish it off. Cashew nuts. Just remember you got some cream and stuff going in, so pretty high on the salt. And because you've got cream going in, you want to check for seasoning after. Always. Cream is a great item for deadening all flavor, so if you add too much, you generally have to run around and add some flavor in from somewhere. It'll swallow up salt quickly and a bunch of other flavors. So I'm still on a really high heat here, and that oil I can see is now fully flavored. Okay, so it's all gone oily and nutty now. There's no moisture left in there. So I'm just going to chill this off, and then I'm going to blitz it in the liquidizer, add some cream, and then test to serve. Looking gorgeous. Okay, so it's never safe to add really hot stuff to your blender, so I'm going to pop some cream in now to cool it down. And I've had it off the stove for 5 minutes. You of course don't want it to add your cream to it extremely hot either. Alright, so that's been blitzed. Fairly happy with the consistency. Just got to add some cream and butter, coriander now, and then test it for seasoning. Okay, I've added quite a bit of butter there, and finishing off with some coriander, some fresh coriander, and that essentially is going to be the sort of the hummus, the base on the naan, the flatbread, which I think it's a perfect, it's suitable for that perfectly. Hence it's made a bit thicker, etc., etc. So I did add a bit of salt to this off camera. Of course it needed salt. Right, so there we go. We've got these two. I'm just heating the kamado jar up. I'm going to get it nice and hot, and I'm going to do these direct at about 250 or so. Not too sure how long they'll take, but I will just probe them and check that they're all good and safe to eat. Right, we're at 250, and I don't have a lot of coal there. I don't need anything going out of control or getting up to too high a temp. Okay, so here we go. Hell of a cook. The results are going to be beautiful and worth it. A lot went into this. Can't wait to tuck in. Naan bread, butter chicken, curry sauce on there. This beautiful tender thigh meat, cooked masala chicken. Very tender, very juicy. It is just gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Came out really well. I'm so pleased with the results. A little bit left over. Then on top of the chicken was the chutney, nice and spicy. And then we have some veg in the form of cucumber, onion and green chili, and then some sambal, which is onion, tomato and green chili. A lot of green chili, bit of vinegar to cut through the richness. Can't wait to give this a taste. It's going to be absolutely awesome. That is orgasmic. That is one of the best eats I've had in a very, very, very long time. That is gorgeous. Oh my god, they are just pinging off the charts, off the planet. Lovely bit of spice, a bit of kick. Cheers guys. I hope you enjoyed that cook. That really was fun to make, and it's not going to be my last time in making that. Absolutely stunning. So thank you for watching. I've got to eat this. Goodbye.